everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Personal Growth Talks podcast. I'm your host, Jason.
And I'm Julia, your co-host. We're so happy you're here with us today.
Today's topic is something we're both very excited about. We're talking about becoming the best version of yourself. But Julia, what does that even mean? What does it really mean to become your best self?
That's a great question, Jason. I think becoming the best version of yourself means growing into the person you're truly meant to be. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real, being better than you were yesterday, and living a life that feels meaningful and true to you.
Exactly. It's not about copying someone else or trying to fit into a mold. It's about looking inside, asking, who am I? And how can I grow? It's a personal journey different for everyone.
Yes! And it's not just about success, money, or how you look. It's about how you feel about yourself, how confident, kind, and honest you are. It's about doing your best, even when nobody's watching.
That's powerful. And becoming your best self isn't something that happens overnight. It takes small steps, daily effort, and sometimes even falling down and getting back up.
So true. We all have strengths. We all have things we want to improve. The good news is, you already have what it takes to grow. You just have to start.
And that's what this episode is all about. Understanding your journey and finding ways to grow step by step. So if you've ever asked yourself, how can I become a better version of me? You're in the right place.
Grab a cup of tea, relax, and let's walk this journey together. Let's dive into the first step, why personal growth is a lifelong journey.
All right, let's get into it. Why is personal growth a lifelong journey? Julia, what do you think?
Well, Jason, I believe personal growth never really ends. Life keeps changing, and so do we. We face new challenges, meet new people, learn new things, so we keep growing.
That's so true. Think about it like this. When we were kids, we had to learn how to walk, talk, and make friends. As adults, we learn how to manage our emotions, build relationships, and chase our goals. Every stage of life brings something new to grow from.
Yes, and it's not just about big changes. Sometimes it's about learning how to stay calm when you're stressed, how to be kinder to yourself, or how to listen better. These things take time and practice.
Exactly. Personal growth is not a race. It's a journey. And everyone's journey looks different. Some people grow fast in one area, like confidence. Others take time building their emotional strength or learning discipline.
And the best part? There's no finish line. You don't wake up one day and say, okay, I'm done. I'm the best version of me. You keep improving, step by step, year by year.
Yes, and it's totally normal to have ups and downs. Some days you feel strong, and other days you feel lost. But even the hard days teach you something important.
That's why we need patience and self-love. We don't have to be perfect. We just need to keep moving forward, little by little.
Right. And think of personal growth like a garden. You have to water it every day, give it sunshine, and pull out the weeds. Over time, it blooms.
That's a great image, Jason. And remember, just because growth is slow doesn't mean it's not happening. Every time you read a book, reflect on your actions, or learn from a mistake, you are growing.
So to all our listeners out there, don't worry if you're not where you want to be yet. Growth takes time. It's okay to grow slowly. What matters is that you don't stop.
Exactly. Be proud of your journey no matter how long it takes, because personal growth isn't a destination, it's a way of living.
Beautifully said. And now that we understand this journey is lifelong, let's talk about the first step in that journey, knowing yourself. That's coming up next. Welcome back, friends. So, now that we understand personal growth is a lifelong journey, where do we begin?
We begin with knowing yourself, and that means learning about who you are, your thoughts, your emotions, your strengths, and even your weaknesses.
That's right. Self-awareness is like turning on the light inside you. It helps you see what's really going on, what you believe, what you fear, what you love. Without that light, it's hard to grow.
Yes. And being honest with yourself is a big part of that. Sometimes we try to hide from our problems or pretend everything is okay, but real growth only happens when we're honest, even if it feels uncomfortable.
Exactly. For example, maybe you say, I want to be more confident. That's great. But first, ask yourself, what's stopping me now? Maybe it's fear of judgment, or maybe it's negative self-talk. You need to see it to change it.
That's so true. And you don't have to fix everything at once. Just notice your thoughts and feelings. Pay attention to how you react in different situations. That's how self-awareness begins.
Right. One thing that really helps is journaling. Just writing down your thoughts at the end of the day, what you felt, what you struggled with, what made you happy. It gives you insight into who you are.
Also, asking yourself good questions is helpful. Questions like, what am I really feeling right now? Or why did that situation bother me? Or what am I proud of today? These help you understand your inner world.
And don't forget, self-awareness is not about judging yourself. It's about understanding yourself. Everyone has flaws. Everyone makes mistakes. That's okay.
Yes, when you become more self-aware, you can choose better. You can stop reacting and start responding with purpose. You get to say, this is who I am, and this is who I want to become.
Beautifully said. So, for all of you listening, take a few quiet minutes today. Ask yourself how you're really doing. Be honest. Be gentle. That's where real growth begins.
Absolutely. Because if you don't know yourself, how can you become the best version of yourself?
Exactly. And now that we've talked about knowing yourself, let's go even deeper. Coming up next, we'll talk about letting go of who you're not and why that's just as important. Welcome back, everyone. In the last part, we talked about knowing yourself. Now let's talk about something just as important: letting go of who you're not.
That's such a powerful step, Jason. So many of us carry labels that were never really ours to begin with.
Absolutely. Maybe someone told you you're lazy, you're not smart, or you'll never succeed. And after hearing it so many times, you start to believe it, even when it's not true.
Yes, these labels stick to us like glue, but the truth is you don't have to keep them. You are not your past. You are not someone else's opinion. You get to decide who you are.
Exactly. Think about this. If someone gave you a name tag that says failure, would you wear it forever? No, right? Then why keep carrying those false labels in your mind?
Letting go of these labels takes courage, but it's the only way to make space for who you really are. When you stop saying, I'm not good enough, you can start saying, I'm learning. I'm growing.
And sometimes we don't even realize we've accepted a label. That's why self-awareness is so important. When you catch yourself thinking something negative, ask, is this really true? Or is this just an old label I need to remove?
Yes, a good way to do this is to write down the negative things you believe about yourself and then challenge them. Ask, where did this come from? And does it help me grow? If not, let it go.
You're not lazy. You're just tired. You're not a failure. You're still learning. You're not weak. You've been strong for too long. You are more than what people say about you.
That's beautiful, Jason. And to everyone listening, You are not your mistakes. You are not your doubts. You are full of potential, and you deserve to live free from the limits others put on you.
So take off the old labels. They don't define you anymore. The real you is still becoming, and that's something to be proud of.
Up next, let's talk about how to build habits that support the best version of you. This is where the real change begins.
All right, now that we've talked about letting go of who you're not, it's time to focus on building the life you want. And it all starts with one simple thing: your habits.
That's right, Jason. Habits are the small actions we do every day. We might not notice them, but they shape who we become. If you want to grow, you have to build healthy habits on purpose.
Exactly. A lot of people think change only happens through big decisions, but the truth is, it's the small, daily things that create the biggest results over time.
Yes, for example, reading 10 minutes a day, drinking more water, waking up a little earlier, or writing down your thoughts. These small habits help your mind and body stay strong.
Right. And if you want to be more positive, start with a habit like saying one good thing about yourself each morning. It may feel small, but it builds a powerful mindset over time.
Also, it helps to make your habits simple and realistic. If you try to change everything at once, it's easy to give up. But if you choose one or two small habits and stick with them, they'll become part of your life.
That's a great point. Start small, like doing 5 minutes of stretching each morning, or writing down 3 things you're grateful for every night. These tiny actions build consistency.
And the more consistent you are, the easier it becomes. Habits feel hard at first, but if you keep doing them, they become automatic, like brushing your teeth.
Here's a simple tip I love. Connect a new habit to something you already do. Like, after you drink your morning tea, take 2 minutes to breathe and plan your day. That's how new routines begin.
I love that, Jason. And don't forget, habits aren't just about doing more. Sometimes they're about doing less of what drains you, like spending less time on your phone or complaining less.
Exactly. So, to all our listeners, ask yourself, what habits are helping me? And what habits are hurting me? Then take one step toward the better version of you.
And be patient. Habits take time. You may fall off track, and that's okay. Just get back up and keep going. That's how growth works.
So true. Because in the end, your habits shape your future. Build habits that support your dreams, and your best self will follow.
Coming up next, we'll talk about something that helps keep those habits strong, staying consistent even when it's hard.
So far, we've talked about building healthy habits. But here's the truth. Starting a habit is easy. The real challenge is staying consistent, especially when life gets tough.
Oh yes, Jason. Anyone can start something new for a few days, but when you're tired, busy, or just not feeling motivated, it's hard to keep going.
Absolutely. But consistency is what brings real growth. It's like watering a plant. You can't just water it once and expect it to grow. You have to keep showing up even when it's not fun.
That's right. And one thing that helps is remembering your why. Why did you start in the first place? What goal or dream are you working toward?
Exactly. If your reason is strong, it gives you the strength to keep going. For example, maybe you want to become more confident, healthier, or more focused. When it gets hard, remind yourself, I'm doing this for me.
Also, lower the pressure. You don't need to be perfect. If you miss a day, it's okay. What matters is that you get back on track. Progress is better than perfection.
That's such a good reminder. Sometimes people give up just because they had one bad day. But one bad day doesn't erase all the good ones. Keep moving forward.
And celebrate your effort, not just the result. If you showed up and tried today even a little, that's a win. Be proud of that.
Yes! And here's a practical tip. Track your progress. Use a simple calendar or checklist. When you see your progress, it motivates you to keep going.
And tell someone about your goal, a friend, a coach, or even a podcast like this. Having someone who supports you makes a big difference.
So if you're listening right now and you feel like quitting, don't. You're stronger than you think. Keep showing up, even on the hard days.
Because every small action adds up, and if you stay consistent, one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come.
Coming up next, we'll talk about something we all face: how to learn from setbacks and mistakes. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. Now let's talk about something we all go through on our journey: setbacks and mistakes.
Yes, Jason, no matter how hard we try, we all make mistakes. We all fall sometimes, and that's okay. It's a normal part of growing.
Absolutely. But here's the key. Don't see mistakes as failure. See them as lessons. Every time something goes wrong, there's something to learn from it.
Exactly. Maybe you broke a habit, missed your goal, or made a bad decision. Instead of saying, I failed, ask yourself, what can I learn from this?
That mindset makes all the difference. Setbacks are not the end. They're just a part of the process. Think of them as steps, not stop signs.
Yes. For example, if you tried waking up early but slept in 3 days in a row, it doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means something needs to change. Maybe sleep earlier or put your alarm across the room.
Good example. And sometimes our biggest growth comes from our biggest mistakes. When we mess up, we become more aware. We become wiser.
And don't be too hard on yourself. Talk to yourself the way you'd talk to a friend. If your friend made a mistake, you wouldn't yell at them. You'd say, "It's okay. Try again."
That's such a kind way to grow. And remember, even successful people make mistakes. The difference is they don't quit. They keep going and keep learning.
So, next time you face a setback, pause and reflect. Ask, what happened? What can I do differently next time? And then move forward.
Because becoming the best version of yourself doesn't mean being perfect. It means being brave enough to keep learning.
Coming up next, we'll talk about the people around you, how the right relationships can help you grow.
So far, we've talked about habits, setbacks, and consistency. But here's something people often forget. The people around you have a big impact on your growth.
That's so true, Jason. The people you spend time with can either lift you up or hold you back. If you want to grow, it's important to spend time with growth-minded people.
Yes, growth-minded people are those who support your journey. They believe in learning, trying, failing, and trying again. They don't judge you. They encourage you.
Exactly. They listen. They push you in a good way. They say things like, "You can do it," or "Keep going," even if it's hard. Those words really matter when you're working on yourself.
And the opposite is also true. If you're always around negative people who complain, criticize, or laugh at your dreams, it gets harder to stay strong.
That doesn't mean you have to cut everyone off, but you can choose who you share your energy with. Choose friends who make you feel inspired, not drained.
And if you don't have those people yet, don't worry. You can start by listening to podcasts like this, reading books, or joining online groups that care about growth.
Yes, even one positive connection can make a big difference. Growth is easier when you're not doing it alone.
So look around. Who are you spending time with? And are they helping you grow?
Coming up next, we'll talk about how to track your progress and celebrate small wins, because even little steps deserve to be noticed.
Welcome back. So far, we've talked about building habits and choosing the right people. Now let's talk about something very motivating: tracking your progress and celebrating small wins.
Yes, Jason, this step is so important. When you track your progress, you can actually see how far you've come. It reminds you that your effort is working, even if the changes are small.
Exactly. You don't need a fancy system. Just write things down in a notebook or mark an X on a calendar each day you follow your habit. It helps keep you focused.
And don't forget to celebrate the small wins. Sometimes we wait for big results, like losing 10 kilos or finishing a course, but small wins matter too.
Yes, like waking up on time, saying no to junk food, or reading for 5 minutes. These small actions show that you're growing, and they deserve to be celebrated.
Celebration doesn't have to be big. It could be smiling and saying, "I did it," or treating yourself to a walk, a fun activity, or your favorite tea.
I love that. Celebrating builds confidence. It tells your brain, this is good. Let's keep going.
So if you're listening right now, pause for a second. Think of one small win you've had this week. Maybe it was speaking kindly to yourself or staying calm in a hard moment. That's worth celebrating.
Because growth is not just about reaching the goal. It's about honoring the journey. And every step forward matters.
Next, we'll talk about a powerful truth. Your best self isn't perfect, it's authentic. Don't miss it.
Welcome back. Now, let's talk about an important idea. Your best self is not perfect. It's authentic.
Yes, Jason. Sometimes people think that becoming their best means being perfect, but perfection is impossible, and it's very tiring to try.
Exactly. The real best version of you is the one who is honest, real, and true to yourself. It's okay to have flaws and make mistakes.
Authenticity means showing up as you are, even if you're scared or unsure. It means being proud of your story and your journey, not hiding parts of yourself.
And when you are authentic, you feel freedom. You stop trying to be someone else and start loving who you really are.
That's right. So if you're listening today, remember this. You don't have to be perfect to be your best. You just have to be you.
Beautifully said. Coming up next, we'll share practical tips to start today on your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. Welcome back, everyone. Now that we've talked about so many important ideas, let's get practical. Julia, what are some easy tips people can start using today to become their best selves?
Great question, Jason. Here are a few simple steps anyone can take right now. First, start small. Pick one thing you want to improve and focus on it for a few days. It could be drinking more water or taking 5 deep breaths when you feel stressed.
That's smart. Trying to change too many things at once can be overwhelming. Small steps are easier to keep.
Exactly. Second, make a plan. Write down your goal and when you will do it. For example, I will read for 10 minutes every night before bed. When you have a plan, it's easier to follow through.
Yes, and tip 3 is remove distractions. If you want to read more, put your phone away. If you want to eat healthier, keep snacks out of sight.
Good advice. Fourth, be kind to yourself. If you miss a day or make a mistake, don't get angry. Just say, "It's okay, I'll try again tomorrow."
And finally, celebrate your progress. Give yourself a little reward when you reach a goal, even a small one. It helps you stay motivated.
Remember, becoming your best self is a journey. These small steps add up over time.
So start today. Take one small step. You'll be surprised how far it can take you.
Next, we'll wrap up with some final motivation to encourage you on your journey.
We've reached the final part of today's episode. Julia, what would you like to say to our listeners as they start their journey to becoming their best selves?
Jason, I want to remind everyone listening that your journey starts now. It doesn't matter where you are today or how big the steps are. What matters is that you begin.
That's right. Every great change starts with one small decision. The decision to try. And even if you stumble or fall, keep going. You are stronger than you think.
Remember, becoming the best version of yourself is not about perfection. It's about growth, courage, and kindness to yourself along the way.
So be patient, be gentle, and believe in your own power to change and grow.
Thank you for spending this time with us today. We believe in you. Keep shining and keep growing.
We'll see you in the next episode of Personal Growth Talks podcast. Take care and stay positive.